Hey, welcome back to Zooming with the Brotherhood. So, yeah, it's good to have Archie. He's with us. He's still, we captured him. We have him for at least probably about 45 minutes. But other than that, fellas, introduce yourselves.
It's Gerard, aka DJ Koala G, aka G. I'm here. Let's go.
Boy, Archie, you know what I'm saying? We in the building.
And you have Dapple here in the building.
Dapple, can you name the gentleman in the back?
Oh,
Your background.
You mean
your background.
my background?
It's like he's looking at everybody else's stuff.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's like what does Archie have?
That's Madara,
Yep.
right? And then that's what's the
That's your TV.
no. Right there.
That's how I make the green.
Hiroshima.
Harashima. Let me see. Why did I say this wrong? Yes.
No pressure. It's all good.
This TV just popped up like that's your TV.
So then we got and Samsung. All right.
Yeah, Hashirama.
There we go.
Hashirama. There we go. Yeah, there we go. But you know,
That's what's up.
that's
So,
all Naruto. I'm all Naruto out today.
okay.
I like it.
My favorite anime.
Nice.
Which edition?
Naruto and Shippuden.
Okay, just checking. Just checking. Go
Naruto
ahead,
and
Liam.
Okay. I don't know what y'all talking about.
We just went on the
It's all good.
Mode squad.
I'm aware. I mean, most of us are blurs in our own way. You know what I'm
There
saying?
you
So
go.
That's true.
it's cool. It's cool. We are talking about dance. Let's keep this shit in perspective.
Yes, and dance is full of nerds. A lot of black nerds, especially men and women alike.
Men and women, yeah, and it's wonderful.
Yeah.
It's
So
wonderful.
let's talk a little bit about how we all get some
yes,
little joy in these new posts of how people are going hard for, like, if you ask me to dance, I'm not, if I ask you to dance and you say no, I'm never asking you again.
Yeah.
Like, I get it.
Well, I get
But
it.
one thing Archie did mention in the previous podcast about that, and then I'll turn it over to you guys, is that the typical response that women give if they don't want to do that has a lot to deal with managing the possible response from rejection from men in society.
I agree. So, and no, it's true, and it's societal. It's how women navigate this world in a general space, whereby they don't give you a direct no, right? They want to tell you no, but they have to massage it in a way whereby it's like, I need to figure out a way to actually.
And no doesn't mean try harder either.
Exactly, right? And
not from the adults. Whoa. Not from the adults. There are many women in this scene who are absolutely girls and not mature, and they want you to try as hard as possible. Like, man, you are too grown to be acting this young. So be clear.
Be clear
that no does not mean try harder, but from a grown woman, no means a no.
Yes, I agree. Yes, but a lot of it also comes from the construct of already being, one, you always have to give that window because like for example, a woman who's a lady who's not mature, or a girl, right, is thinking, oh,
let's not go in that space. Hold on a second, Dapo. Let's not qualify or quantify womanhood.
Oh, facts. Right? No.
I just want to make sure we're clear. We're not doing that. And like,
gotcha.
let's
Just speak
stay-
in general.
Let's,
Yeah,
let's
just
stay
speak in
above
general.
that
let's
board.
let's
Just
speak
speak-
general. I just think, you know, like it's like a lot of there's always there are repercussions, right? To there are reactions to behaviors that exist, right? And the common reactions, and people, a lot of women have been in situations whereby when they assert themselves in certain ways, especially when it comes to the opposite sex, the reaction to their assertion is met with a big backlash. So they try to navigate it with like, okay, let me try and massage this in such a way whereby it doesn't bruise your ego or whatever. I just want to be able to walk out of this situation without being called the B word.
Well, no, go ahead and continue, Dapo, before.
That's and so I feel like they end up giving all this like open-ended responses to requests, right? Which to me I think is still negative, because the guys who don't get it will keep coming, and it's like you end up having to say no anyway. So
Let's
might
unpack
as well
that a
just
little
say
bit
it up
though.
front.
Let's unpack that a little bit. So if this is a learned response of how to navigate through life, right? Or so let's think about it. So if it's something that's almost done automatically, then whose onus on it is it to understand that then? Like, so think about it. If we're getting multiple of the same responses, as guys as a whole, we get the same responses for multiple different women when it comes to rejection and no, and it's very open-ended and stuff. When are we going to be intelligent enough as a group be like, you know what, this is what their no looks like? Well, like, even in a dancing, even though especially when people blow you off for dances, let's keep it in let me back keep it in context.
Let's keep it in context of dance.
So
yes.
It's like, if people are like, well, maybe not this time, I'm like, okay. Like, I know me personally, like, if it's not a hell yes, then it's a hell no.
Same.
So,
and that's how I operate. That's my answer to that.
Is it Dapo?
It is. I don't know what Dapo's going to lie to us like.
It is.
It is. Lie to us.
It is. It is. Come on. It is.
Dapo, come on. No.
No.
No, Dapo.
That's not. That has not been.
You're not allowing this cap right now. You keep that cap on your head, please.
No, sir. Look, it doesn't mean I'm not petty. It doesn't mean I don't feel petty about it. It doesn't mean I don't feel hurt by it. It's like, but it's like, okay, cool.
Why does that hurt your feelings?
Because it's still because in the end it's like, because we all want, because in general everybody wants their desire, but my reaction to that rejection, right, it's not about the person, it's about me.
I think at the end of the day, I think at the end of the day, everybody, no matter who you are, does not like rejection. But maturity enables you to react to it in a way that shows that you are a mature, grown person, you know? Because like, even for, and one of the reasons I said what I said whenever I said like, because we were talking about how whenever a woman specifically says no to a dance, sometimes she may feel like she has to give a reason and say all this full sentence of why, whenever at the end of the day, a no should be enough, but she feels like she has to do that to cater to like the history of a lot of the way that a lot of fragile men react. And the reason I even said that is because we were talking about how we're just like, nah, cool, no is no, because I feel like we're grown and we're mature enough to be able to understand that your no is your no. But at the end of the day, even us, or I can speak for myself, even me, with that growth and mature and always reacting in a way that's like, okay, cool, like somewhere, even if it's super, super deep, or not as deep or very shallow, like nobody likes rejection. Nobody likes it, you know? But at the end of the day, it's like how you react to that is where it's at. So I can still be like, I legit, you told me no, and I kept it moving. And I honestly have not thought about it at all. But maybe for a split second, you're like, oh, okay, cool. But like, you just don't like rejection in general. You know what I'm saying? So I think that might be where Dapo's saying whenever he's saying he's petty and stuff like that, because the rejection part.
Yeah, I don't look at it rejection total. I kind of look at it more like it's just redirection. They're redirecting to the person that you're supposed to be dancing with. Like I'm at this point where I'm just like, all right, cool. Then you missed your blessing. I'll keep it moving. So
it can be one and the same.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of, I mean, eventually if you're gone throughout the entire night and your people are just telling you no for like 4 hours, yeah, that'll wear on you.
It's tough.
That'll wear on.
It's a long night.
You're like,
So,
dang,
you know what that? Like, you know what that means?
Is it the same as not being asked to dance?
Am I ugly?
No.
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 No,
Hell
it is
no.
not.
What do you
No,
know?
it's
Why would we even?
Not even close. Like somebody tells you that somebody not approaching you and not asking you to dance is the same as you asking somebody to dance and them straight up telling you no is the same thing. It's not the same thing. No.
That's crazy. No, I would say I'll come back to that because that's something completely. We can go back to that later. I would say that when it comes to asking to dance and they say no, it's like, all right, cool. Typically, it's not about you. So don't make it about you.
Unless they petty.
True. But even their petty ain't about you. Their petty's meant for somebody else. Now, hey, I'm all for petty. Hey, you give me petty, I can give you petty back. All right. I have no issues with that at all. I agree with that, Archie. It's just sometimes you got to pick and choose when you're going to be petty back. Because it's like, hey, if you ask somebody, hey, would you like to dance? And they got this extra neck movement and attitude and you don't know them. Like, wow, that was unnecessary. Okay, I'm just going to leave that alone because I could take it further. But then what? Then the petty continues and then another one bites the dust. But I would say that if they're saying no, like, yeah, true. I agree with you, Leon. They missed out on the blessing. And also, no, I mean, they did. I mean, a lot of times, like, if I'm asking a young lady to dance and she's like, no, thank you. Or she's like, okay, no problem. I've never asked you this before. I do not have to ask you again. It is okay. Best of luck to you. Sometimes they may tell me later on, like, oh, well, you were so tall, I was intimidated. I'm like, ma'am.
What if they come to you and they're like, I didn't even know who you were. Yes, I want to dance. Is that like worse?
I mean, okay, worse.
I'll bench him.
I'll be like, I'll find you. I'll find you later. And I probably won't find them, most likely.
She comes up and she's like, oh my gosh, you're Gerard. Like, wow, okay, I'm so sorry. I didn't know you were Gerard. Can we dance now?
No.
My question,
that's a huge character flaw for them.
My question is,
yes, that's a big no.
Well, ma'am, I'm not a celebrity. Who told you that I am who I am? Like, I'm just me. I'm literally just me. But suddenly I'm someone who is amazing. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I know I am, but you didn't know this. You didn't know this at all. I would just ask you to dance.
When people come across like that to me, I automatically assume that, and this is a horrible saying that a lot of people in my close circle doesn't like, but that person is easily sold to the highest bidder.
I mean, but you're not wrong.
That's how I view that. And it's, I'm not saying it's not wrong. It's not wrong. It's just saying, that's the vibe that gives me. It's like, unless you have like some sort of clout or stat, well, I'll say they're more like clouts. Yeah. Clout chasers to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a better term.
Groupies.
No, not quite. Not quite.
I think clout chasing is perfect.
Yeah.
Say what again? Say it again.
Cloud chasing is perfect because that's
Cloud
what
chasing, okay.
whenever I was saying petty, like that's what I was meaning, like in that realm of like, oh, some people are like, oh yeah, I really like legit just don't want to dance right now, and it doesn't have to do with you. Cool. But then some people are like their reasoning is because they're looking at you like, are you at my status level as far as like popularity or
hypergamy is real
how
in
I
dance.
look, you know, like I'm a 10 and you're like a 4, so we can't dance.
But my dancing makes me a 12, so you still got to come up. Like, so
ma'am, your dancing makes you a negative in everybody else's eyes.
No,
I'll
but-
tell you that right
but
now.
negative, bro.
Does it though? Does it though? Does it though?
no.
Does it though?
The Dapo, no, it makes him a 12. To everybody else, it makes him a
Somebody-
negative.
Dapo, are you saying that somebody who's bad can suck and still be good?
Yes.
How?
Starfish, right? You talking about starfish? Starfish?
They're the ones that get carried around the dance floor and just like smiling through the whole
drag?
But
thing.
it doesn't
You mean
mean they're
drag.
good. though.
Drag, yes, they
They're
get
tr-
but
Dapo,
they
what-
No, there is no
what are we
buts.
doing
This
right
lets
now?
me
Wait,
know.
wait, wait,
Bro,
wait.
that.
What are we doing right now?
Them is the people that at the end of the night, niggas wonder why they back hurt.
Shoulder and knee, and that's why your knee fucked up now. Okay.
and your fucking neck too with the monkeys.
Hey, I never said, but I'm dragging him. But I don't choose to drag him the entire night. I'm not caping for him right now. I'm confused. What's going on?
I'm not
I
kidding either.
can't.
I'm just stating.
You're
I'm
supporting
just
the
stating-
starfish on the dance floors.
I'm not supporting it. I'm saying they are still thriving.
Wait. Okay, wait. Thriving is a different word versus saying that when people see them, they're negative because of the way they dance. Versus in their head, they're a super positive.
In their head, they're super positive because I don't know if enough people see it as a negative.
You mean like enough people around them?
Yeah.
This is weird. This is
No,
very weird to
it's
me.
confusing. Make it plain. You are quote unquote attractive and you're good at dance, then they're paying you at a higher number. If you are quote unquote unattractive, and this is very, very not concrete. This is just me saying it for the sake of the definition. If you're quote unquote not attractive, but your dancing is fire, you're higher on the dance floor. If
Yes.
you are quote unquote attractive and you suck at dance, you are not high as a number. You're just not. Like that's just plain.
Yeah, you're
Based on the
not,
dance floor.
but you
Based
get
on-
more opportunities to be better. though.
Exactly. Let's go.
realize that
Thank
you
you,
suck.
Leon. Thank you for saying it. Thank
But
you.
here's the deal. That
Doesn't mean I
change your
subscribe to it
She
though,
will-
but it's true.
She will suck till she becomes really great.
number. That doesn't change your
No,
number.
no,
Wait,
She
She will never be great.
no.
Yes,
She will never be great.
Unless you were,
Yo, time out. Wait, pause. She will absolutely gain the muscle memory of a rhinoceros, of some type of dinosaur or big animal that has no coordination. And elephants have coordination, but guess what the babies do? They stumble all the time. That's what she will be. Okay, a stumbling elephant. And it's tragedies, sir. Tragedies.
unless you're taking classes
And
learn
in this
better.
and in the environment of this positivity, oh my God, that's so great. Where nobody tells you you suck. Come on.
Nobody tells you.
First
you
of
suck.
all, if you're talking about 2014, 2015, I would agree with you. But
True.
now people will tell you suck.
No, it depends on where you're at. It depends on the scene you're
I
in.
agree with Archie.
It's true.
Depends on the scene you're in, because I've been in some scenes where everybody's great.
However, there's always a sign where you might get dances, but you might only get one song. You might get a lot of dances, but you might just get one song. That is absolutely a sign that
Oh,
if
gosh,
you're attractive, but your dancing is trash, and every guy you dance with limits you to 2 songs, but you see that chick over there who's maybe not as attractive, but her dancing is fire, dancing for 30 minutes plus.
quote
Oh,
unquote.
you're doing something wrong. You're doing something wrong. Just because you got higher numbers don't mean you got higher quality. I'm just gonna put that out there.
I'm saying that all it's giving you the opportunity, your looks for anybody, male or female.
Facts.
If you're not good at dance, give you the opportunity for more people to see how much you suck. Like that's what it does. If you are not striving to get better, and this is if you're only relying on your looks on the dance floor. Like if you're a person in your head that's like, and I don't know anybody that's ever said this, so this is kind of like ridiculous. But if a person is like, I don't need to get better at dancing, I look hella fine. Like if that's your thought pattern, even though I've never heard anybody say that.
I've known people
I
to
bet
say
that's
shit like that.
Yes.
Bro, if that's your thought pattern, like your looks are gonna get you dances for people to see that you're not good at dance.
I just want to be clear. Let's not limit that what you just said to dance. It's like, oh, I look good. I don't actually need to be good at communication. I don't need skills to actually interact with a human being in a very conducive way. Why do I need to change?
We could look at it like this. I heard something that was quite interesting the other day. It is like, so a man who's wealthy, who has a yacht, it took him how long to get to that yacht? Right?
A long time.
It took him years of toiling, trouble, doing everything. He earned it. He bought the yacht. He had to do what he had to do. Took it, let's say on average, about 20 years to get that yacht. A 19-year-old, how long does it take for her to get on that yacht?
30 seconds.
30, 45 seconds. Why? Because beauty is valued, right? So beauty is valued more initially than the effort it takes to be good.
Initially is the biggest point in that statement.
Yeah, because like, she can get on the yacht, but if she's stupid, you can't stay. You're gonna just have to get off and go swim with somebody else's.
Don't want to go who's only talented.
But she could keep getting on yachts.
But at some point, there will be no more yachts for her. Let's be clear.
No, it's not even like that. It's just saying, kind of going like, if people that view it like, I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna call you out, Dapo. People view it like Dapo says, oh yeah, she's good because she looks good, even though it's a trash dance. No, that's that attitude and that behavior. You simping on the dance floor for no damn reason.
Oh snap! Bro, don't say that. That means that there's people in the scene that are only dancing because they think a person's attractive and they're not actually dancing for the dance.
Absolutely, Archie.
That's what it means.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely.
No rebuttals.
That's one of the reasons why I don't like you, Archie. Because they're like, oh, Archie, he's attractive. I'm going, shit.
I don't suck.
I don't know you don't suck. I don't know you don't suck. I know you don't suck. But I'm still better.
Bro, if I've been dancing this thing for 10 years and I sucked, then I wouldn't have a problem with you having that mindset. Oh, bro.
No, but it definitely yeah, because I remember initially my first time in Paris and I was dancing, I went to classes and all this other stuff. I was like, I should be good for the night. No, it was a train wreck. And one lady, she was so sweet to me, and I knew exactly what it meant when she said it, and I apologized. And she was like, you know what? We finished, it was one song, and she's like, you know what? That was sweet. And I was like,
oh my God.
My bad.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
That hurt right there for me.
I would have felt better if you didn't say nothing.
That hurt.
Thank you.
Yeah, and it was at Park Football.
You went to Park Football.
Yep.
Oh my God. Oh,
it was at Park Football. I did. When I heard that, I went on a tirade. I was like, I gotta get good. So like, instead of some people who are just like, people just don't understand me, or a lot of people who just refuse to get better until like, I took that as like, okay, I can't suck on the dance floor anymore. I had to get better. I had to get good. Right. And so for a lot of people who just had those chances, me, I didn't have that many chances. Like you one and done. Everybody's looking at you. If you suck, she's gonna go just like in real life. If you suck in bed, that girl's gonna go and tell all her friends that you ain't shit in between the sheets. So it's the same thing on the dance floor. If you suck, everybody's gonna see it, one, and then two, she's gonna be like, girl, you don't need to dance with him.
Low key, at the beginning of my introduction into the dance scene, before I knew a lot of people, and I knew like one or two people, I had a friend that I would always go with and dance with her first whenever I first started getting good. So that way it was like a cushion dance for like everybody to see us dancing. And then from there we like separated.
Smart man.
Yeah. That was like my little
You're smart. You're smart. Some of us, we went to Paris solo, like we're fucking Rambo. Get in there and get massacred.
But you know what? I showed up the
like,
next day.
ugh.
I was in class working my butt off. And guess what?
Same. Got better. But
yeah, you got to get good.
But,
this is life.
Yeah.
I'm a guy. I'm not a woman.
So the thing about it is
just
the question about rejection from dances and how you respond to them change based on you knowing the person versus not knowing the person. Because I know some of y'all are like, or some of us will say like, fine, whatever, like you don't need to give me an answer, blah, 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 keep it moving. I'm not thinking about it at all. But what if it's like a close friend and like does it change your response or how you think about it?
No, it doesn't.
Context changes everything. Come on, let's be fair. Context changes.
No, it does. Like my friends, they can always say no, and I don't think anything of it.
But the difference is like with a person you don't know, in somewhere in your head, you're like, okay, cool, and then you're also like, I'm not gonna ask you again. Like you're like,
yeah, exactly.
You know but for one of your friends, you'll ask them again.
Absolutely, because you're gonna. Plus, they'll always give you a cue that is okay, that they're ready,
and you have that familiarity with you. I think that's familiarity.
What it is.
Yes,
this is the familiarity. It's different, so I can't necessarily say it's not the same. I mean, it's a different dynamic. Even people that you know for a while, that you've danced with before, right? They've had the rapport with. They could say no, and you're like, oh, cool, chill, it's good, catch you in the next Congress.
Right. Yeah.
Gerard, your thoughts?
If it's someone that I know and they tell me no, but we've actually danced before, or we're actually friends, like I don't see them as, oh, I don't actually know your name, we may be Facebook friends, but you just pop up every quarter of the year, every 6 months, and say hi and gotta act like I know you when I don't. I'm probably gonna be like, no, we good. You said no. You ain't got to tell me why. I don't care. Catch you later. Find me later when you want to dance, because you're my friend. If you're my actual friend and you tell me no, hey, you ain't got to explain nothing to me. I'm not going to explain nothing to you if I say no. And we're just gonna keep it moving. But yeah, absolutely. If it's someone who I don't know, obviously, they're dead, they're trashed, they're whatever, right? They're in the sewer, right? Beneath the earth's crust, right? Somewhere in the lava. And I don't care. They can come back later and be like, hey, would you like to dance? I'm like, oh, I guess it's because I'm tall now you want to dance versus I was tall and you don't want it. It's weird, freaking weird. Anywho, but no, like, so I wanted to make this point though. Like, a lot of times given the original question, why specifically women or follows would have to sugarcoat a rejection so much just to soften said blow of rejection to the lead or to the man. I mean, I would say the majority of men in the scene have, a decent response. Like, oh, you said no? Okay, cool, man, move on. But obviously, I think they're softening it for the extremes, like the potential extremes. Like we do a lot of things in life, not based on the average, but solely based on the extremes. And I would feel like, or I would say that response in itself is like, oh, I'm softening this because of that, whatever percentage, extremely small percentage of men that have this fragile ego in the scene. Then yeah, like, because I mean, typically the men that have the most fragile of egos, like the majority of those guys, I don't think make it that long, because you and if they don't know dancing,
I will disagree.
wait. If they don't know dancing, the majority of those guys are not going to last that long in the scene, because they're not. It's going to take a while for them to get good. It's going to take that long time. And if they keep getting told no, I mean, sure, they can stay an asshole. And we know them, they've stuck in it, and they decided, fuck it, I'm just going to get good. We know a handful. We know specifically some individuals that are trash in personality, but they decide to stick in this scene, become great dancers in some capacity, so that they can always, stick it to whoever that chick is who decided to reject them however many years ago in childhood and in recent years, and apparently in that moment in the dance floor, and just put all that trauma in that moment and then into that next dance with the same chick, while looking in the other chick's eyes, talking about, you gonna see me, it's not about her, it's all about you, and maybe mommy issues, who cares? And so, like, nah, but it's for the extremes, and which, I mean, it makes sense, and I support it. If you have decided to do certain things based on the extremes that protect yourself from the potential extremes, continue doing what you're doing. But I just wanted to make sure that it's understood, at least in my opinion, that the majority of men in the scene are not responding in this negative kind of way. They're just not.
I want to kind of piggyback off of that. And my viewpoint of the scene is like, the average guy in the scene is probably and I want to just keep it a buck. I want to just keep it a buck. It's been a while. I haven't been drinking. I've been off alcohol for about a while, like probably over a year now. I haven't been really drinking like that. So yeah,
yes, sir. Shout out to
so
bro.
it's not gonna be buck wild. So, but with that, I view the average guy that's in the dance scene in life gets rejected about 90% of the time, and is usually I think it's almost a nice, it's a welcome thing to have a soft rejection, because most of these people get rejected or have so much approach anxiety to begin with when it comes to dance, that it's almost needed to a point. Like, I mean, we've been in dance for a while now, so it's really not us. We just look at it as it's just another person who wants to dance, or there to dance. But in life, outside of life, you think about it, and who really typically gravitates towards going to dance class to begin with is who? I'm not going to specify it out. Like, just think about it, right? The average person that goes to dance class as a guy is really he's there to meet people. Well, also learn.
He's typically
there
to
interact with women in a safe environment, right?
Correct.
They grow into loving the dance and the music most of the time.
True. That becomes a byproduct.
So it's like, when you have that behavior, when you have that, and it's like, dance supposed to be a so-called safe place. We all know how I feel about that. But I almost think it's necessary for the scene to have, and this is going to sound horrible, that when you get rejected, you're placated to the male ego based upon societal norms. And I don't necessarily think it's right, so to say, but I think it's necessary almost, because we've seen those crazies, even when they try to break somebody's leg by sliding them all the way across the dance floor, and the woman's like, no, and then she's like, no, stop, and then he's like, oh, whatever, and he just blows her off. I'm like, that's the person. So I mean, like, if you have one poisonous snake out of 50 and all of them look generally the same, how are you going to react to those 50 snakes?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, but anyway, if they come back and they're like, oh, you're Leon, and switching gears, they come back and say, oh, you're Leon, or oh, you're Gerard, whatever. If I am drinking or have a drink, I'll just tell them to wait till I'm finished drinking. And then I mean, because I do set some ground rules. It's like it's not necessarily on your time or my time. It's a mutually agreed upon time. So if you're not ready, cool. If you come here and I'm not ready, then I'm not ready to dance with you yet. So I still enforce those societal, my normal life rules, even in the dance scene. And it's gotten me pretty far. I mean, I've pissed off a hell of a lot of people too, but
It's fine.
in general, it's a healthy level of respect there. And to me, that's more important than necessarily being the cool guy that dances a lot. So
That's dope. I mean, I would say for both men and women, the way we kind of treat the scene versus the way we treat the real world or the outside world. I mean, well, okay. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, something just switched on up. It's all good. But no, I would say it's interesting because a lot of women I'll ask this question. There are a lot of women in the scene who are getting asked to dance and may or may not say no. They can say yes, say no, it doesn't matter. But are a lot of women in the scene still getting the same approaches out from men outside the scene, like in the real world? Would you say that there's more of an abundance, or would you say it's equal?
I say it's a great space. Dance is a great space to interact with people you would never normally interact with.
That's fair.
I agree with that.
I mean, it's one of the reasons why I came to Tiki Zone, because I was being a hermit. Like I was withdrawing from society at one point because I was struggling with some things. And so I was like, let me force myself to get out here and meet people that I would never meet in my normal day going to work or in my social circles, right? So let's kind of break those barriers by getting there. So
I also think it's a natural icebreaker.
yeah.
Like it lets you have conversation without feeling like you have to try too hard, you know? Like if a person's super nervous, or like, for example, if there's a guy who's just like, I get so scared to talk to girls. Like I've just never done it. I've never been good at it, blah, blah, blah. I don't never know what to say. Then dance in the dance scene is just a natural icebreaker because you can literally just start talking about dance.
Yeah.
And that lends itself for you to be able to have other conversations about other stuff.
There's a dude in Houston that's like perfect for that. I don't know if you remember him. Is it Ken?
Yeah, Ken.
Yeah.
Perfect for that. He's like the sweetest dude, but he's awkward as all get out. But you know what? He now, like over the last 2 to 3 years, this man has no fear, no approaching anxiety at all for anybody. He's like, if you here, you're a target of opportunity. I'm going to ask you to dance. And he'll go straight down the line. Yes, no, yes, no. And the crazy thing is he gets turned down about 80% of the time until he gets his first dance. And then once he gets that first dance, they're like, oh, okay, I'll dance with you now. It's like no one wants to be the first if they don't.
I mean, part of me says sad, but part of me is like,
it's expected almost.
I don't know if I fault them 100% for not wanting somebody who they're not familiar with.
Yeah,
it's the double standard.
It's a double standard, though.
It's kind of a double standard, but it's at the same time, it's like out of fear of getting hurt, out of fear of like not knowing exactly. I've never seen them dance before. I don't know how they dance. I don't know if I guess part of me understands that part of it.
I get it. I'm with you, Archie.
I have a question though. What is wrong with at least giving one dance? One, to figure that out.
That's based on the premise I'm obligated to dance with you, period.
That part. Nobody's obligated to dance.
Just because I'm there doesn't mean I have to dance. That's something I had to deal with a couple weeks ago here locally. I showed up to an event and lady came up to me. She's like, "You're here and you're not dancing." I was like, "Your point?"
What's your point?
Like it was. I was like, "Okay, your point." Like,
guess what? You're not going to be able to make me to dance by guilting me into dancing or shaming me into dancing, for sure. So good luck with this approach.
What am I, 18?
I'm just like,
Don't
it's
dance.
like it's
You're
one of those
12.
things. It's
You're
like
obviously 12.
I'm like, really? I mean, my intention is to be there and dance, but like that's definitely not how you do that.
Not at all.
No, I was like, I'd rather not even. Hopefully, I can forget you soon.
Good answer.
Yeah.
But I mean, but you have to understand, like Dapo, but also context matters. Like if you're at a practica and you're there after a class and it's someone you're really not, you're there to learn, you're there to go through the wicket, you're there to get good. And one of the biggest things that I know we've all learned, and we've all talked about in previous podcasts, is that the sign of a good dancer is be able to dance with a beginner and make it enjoyable. So like you can't forget like not only that we were beginners at one time, but also that also makes us better being able to dance with fresh people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is true. I mean, every time I ask a woman who I don't know how to, would you like to dance? And she just looks at me and says, I'm very new to this. I'm a beginner. I've only had one or two classes. My look at them and I'm just like, okay, so is that a yes or a no? Because all I did was ask you a question about, did you want to dance? Well, she's like, well, maybe, I mean, if you'll bear with me. I'm like, okay, I mean, I can bear with you, but why give these caveats and these warnings? Are you trying to make me not want to dance with you? Do you want me to reject you? Like, is this like I get it. You're protecting yourself, or maybe you're protecting me. I doubt that because you don't know me. But let's see what happens. And then we start, and they usually ask me, well, how long have you been dancing? I'm like, well, how long have you been dancing? I'm like, well, a couple of months. I'm like, not the same, maybe a little longer, about a couple of years, but about a little bit longer than you. That's basically it. So it's like, no, you haven't. I'm like, you can't prove it. Why would you say that? Like literally just a little longer than you. It's okay. And typically I do that just to make sure like, hey, look, I'm no different than anybody else here that's dancing or asking you to dance or you're dancing with. My years in the game doesn't mean I'm a good dancer. Let's be honest, because we know some people years in the game and they are not good dancers and they are cute too. And that's just unfortunate. It's like, well, dang, how you made
Is it though? Or does that show you their
survive.
value set?
They survive.
No, I look at it. I look at that different. Like if you've been in the scene and you're good and you're relying on something that's external that has nothing to do with any work ethic, I just look at that as a part of your value set. I was like, okay, I'm cool on. I'm off that. I'm cool on you. It's weird now because like before I wouldn't have cared. Like prior to COVID, I probably wouldn't have cared. But now I was like, I care. It's just, I don't know. It's like, oh, you still doing that? All right.
Still on that vibe. It's unfortunate.
I think that's where a lot of my motivation is gone. Is like, I just know I don't want to encounter certain things, or I've done a lot to like work on my responses to certain things. So I'd rather not be around that catalyst or that stimulus. Like placating to people because I'm supposed to dance because at least give them one dance.
It ain't worth it.
But have you guys ever been caught up in a dance? I mean, this on a lighter note. Have you ever been caught up in a dance? Like your intention was like to give this person like one dance, but the DJ is not your friend and just happens to mix and you realize like before you know it, you're like, I've been dancing 3, 4, so I gotta get out this dance.
I've had that when that happens. Okay, so I've had it happen both ways. I've had it happen to where like I'm waiting for the song to end and then it transitions so smooth that you keep going. And then I've also had it where like I'm only dancing one dance, but the DJ does it so good that I want to keep going.
Yeah, I think every DJ that does that should be fined. Like
no,
that's crap. I'm trying to get out. I'm trying to get out.
Not doing that. However, I will say this as a dancer. We're not firing the DJs mid.
No, we're not
set,
firing. I'm
because-
saying find them.
Oh, find them. Oh, okay. My bad. I misheard you.
25 cents per occurrence or some stuff like that.
Okay, that my bad. But no, I would say
Not
this
fire
happened to me,
DJs.
but kind of different. Yeah, that's a different topic.
We love our DJs. We love
Shout
our
out to the
DJs.
DJs. You
Shout
gotta
out to the DJs. Thank you.
2020 and all. I would
Yeah.
say it's interesting when you dance with somebody, you have no clue how they can dance. It's whatever, you just want to dance with them. And they, like you had, well, typically I try not to have any expectations coming into it. And I'm thoroughly surprised and shocked by the level of their dance when it's so high. And I'm just like, wow, this is now I have to dance with you longer, like longer than I even potentially expected, because you're really good. Like it happened to me this past Salva where it was a day social, and day social was just hot fire. All we doing is Simba, and we going for it. We just going. And I was sweating, like it was good, and I was sweating hard, and it was bad. I was like, okay. Music shifted to like some compa or some real slow down. I was okay. Let me get off this dance floor. Let me get a break and wipe myself off. Saw this lady who I never met before, kind of older. It's okay, just an older woman in the scene. And she's like,
Gotta watch the older ones where they can dance.
bruh. She was like, would you dance with me? I was like, I understand the music just stopped. And she's like, I see that you're about to take a break. And I was like, look, I will absolutely dance with you. Find me later. And if it's tonight, like during the actual party, just make sure that I see you, because I don't know you, but I stand out typically in parties for some weird reason. I don't know why, but I was just height, glasses, hair. I don't know, but melanin, who knows? And I was like, just make sure I see you, because if I see you, then I'll know what you're wearing, and I'll just look out for you in general. And later on that night, at some point she saw me, say, hey. I was like, okay, I see you. Like I was leaving as she was walking in, I was walking out. I was okay, I got you. And I found her like maybe 30 minutes later, asked her to dance, and she was a superb dancer. Superb, like one of the best dances I had all weekend. And I was like, whoa, this is shocked. I was shocked. I was amazed. I had no expectations. I was like, yo, this is great. And so we danced for a long time that Saturday. I found her again Sunday and danced with her again. She was very playful. And I was like, look, I don't understand sometimes when, well, I get it. Now I'm at this place where I'm just like, look, I've been in the scene for years. If you want to say no to people, you can, but like it was said earlier, you missing out on blessings, on blessings, on blessings. So please, just you never know what you might get.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, it's very true. So then on top of that, because like one of the fears of people, right, is like for men, for leads and follows, is like, if I'm unfamiliar with you, I might tell you no until I see you dancing, because I'm afraid of injury. That was somebody listening to this is probably thinking like, I might get injured if I tell somebody no, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so then in my head, I'm like, all right, cool. So what if you say yes, you dance with them, and then
you get injured,
start feeling something that gives you red flags, you stop the dance and tell them we can't continue. How is that looked at versus just telling them no straight up?
I mean, if you tried and your body says no, so you got to listen to your body. You got to, because I've done that, and that sucks. Like it sucks where you're like, you dance with somebody you never met before, and you dance 1 to 2 songs, but after the song, I've had it to where after that song, I could not dance anymore the rest of the night. Like I tried one more dance, and I was like, oh, my knee's taken out. I danced for plenty of hours before that. Next time I danced with the tiniest human being in the room, and she's the one that screws up my knee. She was
so crazy too. Whenever you like, if you're dancing with somebody that's like you're like, you can feel it, and you're like, it's probably gonna be a one song dance.
Yep.
And you are like, the song's fading out or getting ready to end, and you feel in their follow that they're trying to like keep going.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gotta let them go.
You just have to go in for the hug and be like,
man, appreciate you. You're awesome. Thank you. Hey, Until next time, I'm gonna catch you.
You just gotta
Appreciate it.
man. Well,
Man, what's your name? Where you from? Just on the whole conversation. What? Yeah, okay, awesome. How long you been dancing? Who teaches you? Okay, good to know. Because I'm not
Feel
gonna
like-
dance with anymore.
my body breaks down. There's nothing I can do about it. We're stopping. I like my back, my knees. I'm good. I can't move.
No, let's be
that's
clear. Hey, we've done the opposite where the dance was so good, but the body was like, hey, Playboy, you gotta stop. And you're like, nah,
I know.
I'm in it to win it.
I've killed
Yeah.
myself before.
But the
They know.
difference-
They know. Like you just like, oh God.
I mean,
difference in that
This is it, and nobody's dancing with me after this. So I'm gonna make it. We're gonna go
you're talking
all the
about
way.
the
You're gonna
person
break my
good?
body.
Yeah.
You're talking about
The
the
person
Yeah.
is good,
yes.
and you
Oh,
let
the-
them break your body.
No, but if they're good, they're not breaking your body.
Not true.
No, not
Not
true.
true. Not in every situation.
Not in every yes.
Telling me that a good dancer can break your
It's-
body
it's-
the
wait,
same
wait.
way the bad dancer can.
It's about endurance.
Wait. So that's a good word. Archie, I'm not saying that this follow is actually breaking your body.
Breaking
but
your
I'm,
body, yes.
What I'm saying is the
Your
dance.
body is breaking
the
down.
body.
Yes,
Because
your
you've been
body's
dancing
breaking
so long.
down.
It's
but
like
yes.
I got you, Archie. It's like you're playing
Mhm.
basketball and you've been playing for hours and
Right.
you want to keep going, but your body's saying, Playboy, if you do this one more time, you're gonna be done for weeks, let alone just a day or two. Like you played, okay, I'm
Got
done a day or two. Versus you playing good, you in the zone, but your body's like, so you understand that there are repercussions with being in the zone. Like you are sacrificing a lot of the future.
Yes.
You don't know
Yeah.
what that look. You don't know what that is. You don't know what the timetable is, but you are
So you're just in
sacrificing
that
something.
zone.
And you like, you know what? One more game, and you go 4 more games, right? You go 4 more. You don't go 1, you go 4 because you're in it, and like the adrenaline's got you going. And as soon as you
Yes,
get
yes.
home, like as soon not about that, once you get in the car,
The room.
no, once you put your flip flops on, because you gotta take off the shoes, right? Once you put the flip flops on after sitting on the court, and you start walking to that door, you walk with a different kind of limp. Okay.
So the difference is that pain is different.
That pain is a cost that you decided to pay. That's what
But
that
it's
pain is.
different. It's a
It
different
is.
type of pain.
Oh, facts. It still sucks, but it's a different pain. Yes, this is true.
So where one pain is like, okay, I mean, maybe it's different for you. For one pain, for me, it's like, I'm gonna be hella sore. Not my back is gonna be hella broke. Like there's a difference.
So it's mine.
No,
is gonna
your
be
back
broke.
might be broke too.
on both.
Your back might be broke. Your back might be broke. Your back. Look, hey, but here's the major difference. Here's the major difference, Archie. The difference is with the follow that sucks. All right, or with the because I'm assuming it happens to follows this like that. I'm not in that camp, but with the follow that sucks, that level of pain and injury potentially comes from 1 to 3 dances max, versus the good dance comes from 3 to 2 hours max. Like
Because it's
it's longer. Like you're
Yeah.
enjoying it, and then you realize 30 minutes in, like, oh, hold up, wait, I think
I've been in this place.
my kidney? I think that's my
kidney. Like, I really want to keep dancing.
I think my
For me,
kidneys-
it's my feet. For me, it's my feet.
yeah,
Like-
it can be your feet, your toe, your pinky toe,
Whatever
It's
hurts.
all the above.
Yeah, it's my feet. Like it's less neck, it's less back. It's like my feet hurt so bad, but I want to keep going so bad.
And
It's like a
have you ever?
person who goes to a restaurant that they really like and they want to eat, and they're like, "I'm so freaking full.
Your back never hurts.
I keep eating." Huh?
Your back never hurts.
Not as much as my feet do. Not as much as my feet. Feet are hurt, bro. My feet will hurt.
All right.
And I've had situations like that happen more with my feet and less with my back. My feet, I'm like, bro, I want to stop so bad, but like I don't want to stop dancing with this person.
But you continue. But you've continued a couple times, huh?
I have 100%.
Yeah.
But that's the difference. I don't think that's wrong. That's
No,
not
wait, whoa,
wrong.
And I'm saying it's wrong. We're just
wrong.
acknowledging.
No,
We're just
I'm
acknowledging
saying-
it happens.
And I'm not saying you are saying it's wrong, but I'm saying for people that are listening, it's not wrong in comparison to wanting to stop a dance because you're dancing with somebody who's just not good.
Oh,
because it's double bad. At least if I'm dancing with somebody that's good and I'm getting something, versus dancing with somebody who's not good and I'm hurting. I'm like, what am I getting besides pain right now?
facts.
It's a Ja Rule album. Love ain't pain in this situation. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, what am I doing?
Facts.
That's all I'm saying.
No,
Yeah, that's completely fair. You definitely need to get something out the dance if you're going to be in pain for it.
facts.
And most of us, like, if we dance for freaking 5 hours, by hour 5, shoot, like, for most, and especially if it's like back in the day, at this point where I'm at now, I'll dance. If my average dance is, unless I'm at an event where I'm just like really, really enjoying it, which I don't go to that many events anymore anyway. And then when you pick and choose the ones that I do go to, it happens, it's rare to where I'm at an event and I'm just like, I want to dance so much. Most of the time, on average, in a 30-minute time span, I'm dancing with like 3 people, maybe, you know? So it's like, because it's not like it was back in the day where I'm dancing non-stop, like non-stop for 6 hours. Like if you're still doing that, bro, you need
Good for you. Good for you. Lucky you. I wish I could. No. 2 hours max for me.
2 hours max what?
2 hours max dancing like straight. I can't go more than 2. After
No,
2
I'm not
hours,
saying
I'm like,
hours.
I'm like, Gerard,
that was back in
drink
the day.
upstairs.
That was back in the day. That's what I said, back in the day. It's not like that no more.
And Gerard would be like, I just got here.
We're just waiting for the right set.
Yeah, it's definitely back in the day we were ridiculous.
We were wilding. we were wilding.
We were fueled on straight adrenaline.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
And spite to be good and prove a point.
Oh God.
Well, I still remember, super subject topic switch. I still remember at Neo Kids whenever we played King's Cup.
Oh, this is what we're doing. Oh, okay. This is what we bring it up. Okay. And what happened, Archie? What happened?
Oh Lord. That was I just because Leon said we was wilding and dancing and off adrenaline and drinks, and they popped in my head.
Good times.
Yeah, that was crazy, bro.
That's sounds at Ridgemont High.
Bro.
It was like that though. It's like that.
Stop it. Why do you have this grin, bro? You have this grin like you're like, yeah, I'm gonna do that shit again, like tomorrow.
No, he said Neo Kids, and I'm gonna be at Neo Kids.
When is that?
Nobody gonna be a Neo Kids.
It's next week. I'm gonna be
next
week, which is awesome. It's next week.
It's next week.
Wow, bro, ain't nobody gonna be a Neo Kids except Dapo.
I'll be there.
Crazy.
That was gonna get all the dances.
He sure is.
Well, for 2 hours a night. Now, so you get
2 hours a night. It's a lot. Just telling you.
It's the same weekend as Lambazook. It's not next week. It's the week after that.
Yes, it's the same. It's the same weekend.
Because I'm going. I'll be in Dallas for that for a day.
Yeah, you're right. It's next week.
It's a weekend after next. It's not next weekend.
Y'all figure that out. Apparently
it's next week. Archie is 20 something, 22nd.
So you rolling Dolo, Dapo?
What?
You going solo?
Yeah.
Okay. You know, my birthday is Sunday, so I'm just thinking.
Sunday or that Sunday?
This Sunday coming up.
Okay.
The 17th?
No, I guess it's Monday then. It's the 18th. I don't know.
Celebrated on the weekend.
Facts.
Oh,
that's what I was thinking.
Meal Kids that weekend.
Potentially.
Yeah. Okay. I'll be there, but I'm not staying at the hotel though.
I wouldn't stay at the hotel that I saw that was posted.
So what was posted?
The hotel that was the event's going to be.
You're not at that hotel. Is it the same one as before?
It's It used to be the Omni, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not. If it's not a Hilton property, I'm not going to stay because I'm just a rewards points whore at this point in my
Feel
life.
that. Mine is the same way.
Like I said, Leon, priorities do change.
I'm 100% that way too with my Hilton Marriott points.
Yeah, if I'm not getting points, I'm not staying. And I'm so bad now. I only, if I can help it, I only fly Delta.
That part.
I mean, I get a free companion flight annually.
Word.
Yep.
That's dope.
No check. I mean, I don't pay for check bags anymore. I spend more than $25,000 a year on a card, so.
I remember a long time ago, I would talk to dance instructors, and even DJs too. Anybody that was traveling at least 2 weekends out of the month, and I would ask them like, "What's your mileage plus number? Like, do you have one?" And they'd be like, "No," and I'm like, "Why? Why do you not have a mileage? Like, this is like, okay, let me put you on game. Get you a mileage plus number, so then that way you can earn miles off of someone paying for your flights. So you're gaining flights for free on top of flying for free, you know?" And I remember
You're not flying for free. You're not flying for you're getting paid to work. But yes.
Of course, it's not free, but like they're paying for your travel, but you're gaining on top of what you're getting paid, you're also gaining future flights and a status with this airline based off of someone else's paying. And it's the same thing that major companies do. Half these dudes that are Premier 1Ks and golds and stuff that work for these companies, they don't pay for their stuff. The company pays for their stuff.
I never pay for any. But I mean, I was in United. I was with U.S. Airways. I was platinum. I didn't pay for a single flight for 4 years.
Yeah, that's how it is for most people that are that high up. Any global service Premier 1K member, it's rare that it's somebody who's like flying that much on their own buck.
Yeah, because a lot. I mean, most of the people that I knew that were global services were flying for oil and gas training and things like that. They're like trainers always flying or consultants.
Yeah,
always like that. Yeah. But we do need to talk. We should probably have a travel podcast too. Well, an episode about travel tips and how to maximize.
That'd be nice. Yeah,
travel tips and also how to not be broke, not be a broke dancer.
How to not be a broke dancer.
Not being a broke dancer, jumping from event to event and living in your mama's house or in an apartment with 5 other people at the age of 36.
That was specific.
I concur.
There's so many people that are like that. I'm like, bro, but like, where do you see yourself in 5 years when you're like 40?
Dancing. That's all they look at. That's all they see.
Bro, there's a lot of people that that COVID forced them to step into like life and like really like building up their life and building up their wealth and building up just themselves, you know? Because it's, I mean, 30, when you hit 30 to 35, I think naturally is already an age where any person who is striving for something for their future, it's already a natural age where you're like beating yourself a whole bunch because you don't feel like you should be where you're at. So if you're like 32 and you dance every weekend, I mean, I'm getting paid to be at these events and I see the same niggas at every event that I'm at, like paying, you know? And so I'm like, if you got the bread to do your thing, do your thing. You know, you got a job, a career that gives you the ability to do that. So, because you got your own spot or whatever. And I'm not telling people not to do stuff they enjoy, but I am saying if what you're doing that you enjoy is causing you to be broke, like you might need to change your priorities. But like, I feel like COVID caused a lot of people to really step into changing a lot of that stuff, you know, and stepping into growing as a person, you know, and not just falling in love with dance and looking up from the age of 32 to 37 and being like super depressed because you're like, where am I at in life right now? You know?
Yeah.
I feel that.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
I feel that.
Because boy, like especially the way I like to travel, festivals were not cheap.
No. Oh yeah, you talking about because like I'm not about to just stay in anywhere or just like travel anyway or stuff like that. Yeah.
And I always ask for like suites because it's one thing because I had this weird thing, right? It's like even though like when you're in the hotel room, everybody's hanging out, everybody sits on the bed because there's no other place to sit, right? And that was a pet peeve for me from back when I was in college. I hated when people came in to my room and sat on my bed. It's like, I don't know where your ass has been. Like,
Facts.
like don't
Outside
sit on my
clothes.
bed. This is where I'm sleeping, right? So like that was one of my main things. If I could get a suite or some type of suite where there was a couch or extra chairs or something like that, I would always rather have that because I want people, not only people are comfortable when they come in your room, 9 times out of 10, you have a fridge, you have a great place to drinks. Your place almost kind of becomes like the community hangout spot. So you don't have to go anywhere. You can kick people out if you want to, but it's like you still have your own space that just isn't invaded by everybody else from just being there, so that's how it was. Like, I think the last time was I One Kids or something like that. Was it One Kids or Neo Kids where I had that first floor suite?
One Kids. It was One Kids.
Yeah.
Had a separate room.
Yeah, I didn't expect that at all. I thought it was gonna be like one of those fake suites where they just extend the room or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that room was underutilized.
Shout out to Nala. Let's go. All right.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, but so okay, so let's talk. What would you guys like to talk about next? In another session or something like that. Just want some ideas, toy around. So maybe we'll pick something, or we'll have those who listen to it just decide for us. See what they want.
Send your suggestions. Put your comments for topics. We'll get to it. Let us know. Is anything too taboo? Possibly. We'll find out next.
We'll find out what we can't talk about.
It's rare.
It's true.
I'm sure there's something we can't talk about.
All right, ladies and gents, thanks for joining us.
One question. What do you guys think
ahead.
about having guests in here? I think we should switch it up. Start inviting guests to join us in a Zoom.
I mean, it's Zoom. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Open.
Down.
Easier, right?
Like, for example, if we want to like have a podcast where we talk specifically about a certain dance genre, we bring in somebody from that genre or something like that.
Yeah.
Correct.
But let's leave it to the listeners and the viewers to see what they decide.
We don't want to see.
All right, then.
I mean, it's already hard enough to give all of us,
Yeah.
But that's also part of my point in the sense that
You guys won't let me finish this podcast, will you?
all right, we're done.
Okay.
All right, see you guys.
You know what I'm saying?